because sometimes that happens. All right. So for you that are in and on time, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know that coming in and changing your schedule around takes effort and time, and it can be challenging. So I appreciate you being here and spending this time. We do plan on this being about 40-ish minutes is typically what it is. And I do like to leave time at the end for any questions or anything like that that you might have. This is very casual. I'm here to support you and help you. So as you are tuning in here, I would love to know where are you tuning in from? I was going to say chiming in, but that isn't quite right. Where are you tuning in from? And what is something that you're excited about for fall? I am so excited for the temperatures to get a little bit cooler, but paddleboarding is my love language, so I will be missing that. But I'm really looking forward to cooler temperatures. I love fall time. So tell me what you're maybe going to miss or what you're looking forward to. And you can just put that in the chat. I'm going to send out a couple more messages here on Instagram to people who I think might have forgotten. And then we'll give people a little time to trickle in. Okay. Oh, okay. Now, just a moment here. Okay, your messages are coming in here. I'm curious for those of you who pre-registered, were you able to get the link? I'm getting some messages in from some people saying they couldn't get the link in their email. So I'm curious how some of us are in and some of us are not. Um, just a moment.
Hey, Camille, this is
Yeah.
Chelsea. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
hey, hi.
Hi. I did get the link. I got it in both your um, couple days advance notice, and then this morning I got a 6 hour advance email. So I clicked on
Okay.
the link that was in the email that said only 6 hours to go.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is weird. I'm glad that you got it. Okay. Okay. So there was like a 16-hour one, a 1 hour one, and a 15-minute one. So I'm sending this to a few people who had, for some reason, did not see. Okay, we have two more that just entered. So thank you for that. All right. Perfect. Welcome, Landon and Janica. We were just saying people that are here were able to get to the link. So I'm so sorry if that was a bit of a struggle or some people didn't see it. We're so happy that you're here. So thank you for that. And thank you, Chelsea, for popping in there.
Of course.
Okay. Well, we're about at 5 minutes. We're just sharing while people come in. We have a few more that are trickling in here. Awesome. We are sharing what we're looking forward to for the fall, or if you're really sad summer's over, where you're tuning in from, just in the chat. Love to have you pop in and even say it if you want to, if you're more of a talk than a chat person. Either way is good for me. Awesome.
I'll talk so you get to hear someone else's
Yay,
voice.
talk to me.
So I'm calling in from Sugar House, Utah. And woohoo, it's the 22nd of August. Pumpkin spice at Starbucks was released today.
Ooh. Oh,
So,
today.
yes, today. It's a bit early.
Perfect.
I know it's a bit early for some people, but I'm pretty
That's
excited for
awesome.
it.
That is so good.
I
Okay.
did just buy a paddleboard too, Camille, and I know it's so late in the season, but
No, you still have a month.
I
You
I
still have
know.
a
I'm
month.
like, okay, I've been looking at the temperatures and I'm like, oh, there's plenty of time. I can hit all of these reservoirs that I've missed this summer.
Yeah, I think I'm actually have a group. If anyone is listening and wants to go and is here in Utah, Heather or Janica, anyone, I have a small group going on the 27th, which is this next coming Tuesday. So if you are interested, you can come and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. I just went to Jordanelle 2 days ago and the weather was gorgeous. It's best to go in the morning because in the afternoon the wind will pick up and we've had some crazy wind coming through Utah recently. And so if, you just want to avoid that for safety reasons and everything. Yeah, Janica
Yeah.
says, we like our paddleboard. That's awesome. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. I am going to go ahead and get started to be respectful of your time. And then as people come in, I'll just let them come on in. As I'm presenting, it's a little bit tricky for me to see your comments and questions, but I'm going to join on my phone so that I can see them there and try to see those comments as much as they come in. And then at the end, I will have a section of time that we will have questions and answers. So if you feel like you have a question that doesn't get answered, please feel free to save that for the end if you want to, or if you feel like you have a question and it needs to be answered immediately, of course, that is great too. So I'm going to go ahead and join the chat on my phone. Perfect. And now I can see your questions and comments as we go through because I love having your participation. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen with you so that you can see a little bit of a presentation. It's very webinar-y. So if it feels that way, it is that way, but it's still very conversational. I'll be asking you questions throughout, so please do not feel shy to share because I love hearing what you have to say. So if you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. I want to make sure everyone is here with us and that we are seeing what is on this presentation. Okay, perfect. Yep, give me those thumbs ups. Everyone can see. Yes, yes. Are we good? Okay. All right, well, we are here to talk about the 5 secrets to build a profitable virtual assistant business from home. What's funny about this is I wrote this 3 years ago, and many of the exact same things are the same, if not every single one of them. I only had to tweak a few little things here and there. And honestly, the only thing I had to tweak was that people used to have more of a description of what a virtual assistant was 3 years ago. And now it's the case that people get it and they know it. And a virtual assistant is something that people are familiar with. So that is only an advantage at this point, where being a virtual assistant is a very viable stay-at-home business. And now that I've helped dozens of women go through this program, it has been so cool to see a baby idea flourish into success, not only for the women that take my course, but for the women who I interview and help line up with graduates from my course who are entrepreneurs and need extra help. So you're in the right place. I'm so happy you're here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for coming and checking it out. So in this webinar, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can create an online business that you love on your own terms. And by the end of our time together, we are going to build confidence in yourself about, no matter where you are in your journey right now, of maybe feeling really confident about what a virtual assistant is, or feeling like you are on baby steps and you're still trying to figure it out, that either scenario is great. This course and these ideas will help you get started, whether you decide to take my course or not. So let's dive in. But as we are going through this, I want you to know that there is a bonus at the end for 30 social media tried and true templates as a thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming. So stay tuned for that. That's Pinterest pins, Instagram stories, Instagram templates. I do want you to turn off all distractions as much as you can. I understand little ones could be running around you, and obviously they don't have an off button, although we do wish they did sometimes. But do the best that you can and grab a paper and a pen. I feel like when you put pen to paper, especially when you have ideas or questions or inspiration, it connects and stays in your mind differently than if you were just to listen. It engages your mind more. So as much as you can, put distractions away and have something that you can use for taking notes. So while you're here, you may be curious about what it would be like to build a virtual assistant business. You're sick of the 9-to-5 schedule and need more options of working anywhere with Wi-Fi, or perhaps you're ready to take on a new challenge that blesses your life emotionally and financially. So a virtual assistant is an independent worker who assists with administrative, business development, social media marketing, or other tasks. And after writing this course, one of the funnest things that has happened is watching how much bigger this is than that, where it's coordinating travel. It's putting together membership packaging for subscription companies. It's helping in medical or dental offices, but remotely. It could be helping with teachers, real estate agents, doctors. The lists go on and on and on. And I literally could not have even imagined what this would translate to when I wrote the course. So it's been really fun to see. It's so much bigger than we even know. So a virtual assistant is an independent worker who assists with business development, administrative, social media, design, marketing, or other tasks. And it is something that is ever evolving. So the opportunities are huge. And I think that the very first question that we ask ourselves as we consider a business like this is, what do I have to offer? Like, could I really do this? Is this something that I have skill set for? Is it something that I could learn something new if I don't know exactly what it looks like? And I'm here to tell you that you can. If you know your way around a computer and you're someone who likes to learn, this is for you. It's really cool to see how, with everything that we have going on in the world, we can have our, sorry, I'm trying to admit someone right now. I'm trying to figure out the button. I'm going to escape here just for a second. Apologies. Okay, so with that, we can use the tasks that we know and have and take a minute to look around about what experiences we've had from the past that could potentially propel us into building a virtual assistant business of our own. So some of these ideas are things like data entry, email management, social media, spreadsheets, Zoom, scheduling, design. It goes beyond that. But the good news is that I'm here to help you discover what you have and maybe what you could be interested in creating new for the future. I think that it's so exciting. It's really interesting to me to watch people go through my program or to consider this, because it may take months for them to finish. It was designed to be done in 60 days, but I've had people who have taken the course and finished in 2 weeks and had a business 2 weeks later with a client, or even the next week. Or some who even said, I'm kind of doing this anyway, and I have a client, I just want to build my skill set, and they're already building on it. So this is something that, do you have to have a course to start? No, but it certainly helps to build the building blocks of a successful business. So we are going to help you discover your niche right now. This is when I'm going to have you pull out your paper and a pen, and we're going to talk about unique qualities that you have that set you apart from the rest. Now, this is something that you still might be like, oh, this is too soon, but just go with it. Just be playful about it. Get curious. I think as adults, sometimes we get too in our heads about what something like this could look like. So just be playful about it and just consider what it could be. Okay. So this is a 3-part question about discovering your power niche. We're doing this right now. Who are you, and what are your interests and your passions? Okay. So I want you to think about this really quick, about possibly what that could look like for you, of interests and passions. And it could be something that you really loved as a kid. It could be something that you have found or discovered recently that you think perhaps maybe there's something different that you could learn now, or you're getting into social media in a different way, or maybe you're a really organized person. That's something that I think I look at the skill sets of people who have taken this course. And to be honest with you, there are so many people that have taken this course that have so many strengths that I don't. So consider those. Like, what are some things that really make you tick? What special skills or experience or talents do you have? Now, this could go back into something that you did in the past. Maybe this is something where you had a previous job. I've had people who have worked in like real estate, or I had someone who worked as a stylist in a salon, and she actually helped one of my clients who had a salon product subscription business, and she knew salons and that world, and it was perfect. And then I had another person who came along who said, oh, I work in real estate and I really want someone who understands real estate, but isn't necessarily a realtor themselves, but can help me put together contacts and kind of knows their way around that world. And what's so cool is that niching down into topics or backgrounds that you have, you will find people who need assistance or people to help them in those fields. Another thing to consider is, how could you serve someone with the skills that you have? as a mom or a busy person in general, whether you're male or female, a lot of us have created amazing skills of being able to multitask, to schedule, to stay on top of things, customer service, to be able to have ideation of ideals and also ideas and just getting together. And I can promise you, after helping so many entrepreneurs line up with virtual assistants, the thing that they need more often than anything else is someone to bounce their ideas off of and also help them organize those ideas. And if that sounds like you, where you're thinking, I don't necessarily love being front and center, I don't want to be running the show all the time, but I love the idea of seeing something go from an idea and then breaking it down and helping someone create and reach those goals, this is for you. Like, there are so many different exciting ways to do that. So with that being said, I want you to consider all that I just shared with you. And if you think about that seriously, what does that look like for you? So take 10 minutes to brain dump everything you can think of. Don't take it too seriously and put some ideas down. It's funny, we were just talking about paddleboarding, and I have this picture of me with a group of friends that I was paddleboarding with. And every single one of us, these ladies are not virtual assistants, they're just my friends. But what I show this to you for is that just like each of these women, you all have such unique perspectives and skill sets. And so that's what makes it so beautiful, is that you're different and you have unique perspectives. So we've been talking about this for a minute. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you feel like you have some ideas, and maybe even write down some of those ideas of things that I mentioned or things that you have thought of that you think might be a good fit for you. I would love to see kind of where your thoughts are with that. And don't be shy. I would love to hear what you're thinking. Anything you can think of. Okay, here we go. Nope, I thought I had messages coming in. Come on, give me some ideas. Okay, so Landon says be a VA for real estate. Awesome. Yes, this is a big one. Here's the thing about real estate, and for people that I've helped who are real estate agents who need a virtual assistant, is that a lot of times, especially keeping meetings and follow-ups and scheduling, can be very difficult with the ins and outs of buying and selling a house, as well as scheduling out social media, because a lot of businesses, whether they are online or brick and mortar, everyone is realizing now that online presence is necessary, even if it's just having a 9 grid on an Instagram that people can see what your services are or how to contact you or different things like that. And that can be very overwhelming for some people, where for you, it may just be like, oh, I got that. That's easy to do. And with my course, I can help you do that. Super easy. Okay, keep thinking, comment again if you feel like you want to share, but let's keep going. So here are some ideas. If you're feeling a little bit stuck, uninspired, not quite sure, here is a list of 45 ideas, and I actually have hundreds. This was just the first 45 that could fit on this page, but reading through this just very quickly: financial services, data entry, customer service, coding, graphic design, Instagram community, following up, product tracking, data entry, research work, Reels, Pinterest, Instagram, accounting, e-commerce. It goes on and on and on. So let's keep going as you're thinking, and we'll go a little bit more into that. Okay. After you have discovered those ideals or those ideas or the people you would want to work with, and that's a big part of it, it's tying your interests and skills into who would I want to work with? Who are, or what is the industry that gets me really excited about creating a business on my own terms? So this is what we would call a very rough draft to like an elevator pitch, something that you could say to someone or in an Instagram bio that says who you are, who you work with, and the problem that you solve. So for example, I could say with this script, I am a virtual assistant. I work with, and let's say we're talking about real estate because we've been using that as an example. I work with real estate agents, and I specialize in helping them with admin pieces of their business, like emailing, scheduling, and calendar content. Or let's say you rewrote that and you were the example of one of my virtual assistants who graduated and helped with subscription boxes for salons. And she wanted to focus on helping salon business owners. I am a virtual assistant. I work with small salon business owners. I specialize in helping them with admin pieces of their content, emailing, subscription, and client retention, something like that. So it could be any different flow of that. I think it's a good idea to take a screenshot of this or just a quick picture with your phone to just get those wheels turning. And you can come back to this later, but this just gives you a rubric or an idea of what you could start with. Here are a few more. I am a virtual assistant. I specialize in community growth on Instagram for busy entrepreneurs. I specialize in branding images, engaging copy, and increasing their following. Another example is I am a virtual assistant. I help small business owners grow on Pinterest. I specialize in pin design, SEO, and pinning strategies for growth. I have a virtual assistant right now that has worked with me for 7 years, and he is my Pinterest specialist. I have an audio podcast virtual assistant who has worked with me now for almost 4 years. I have another virtual assistant who is a Kajabi specialist, and I've been working with her for 3 years. So what's really cool is that it can be like a month to month, you stick with a client and you're with them for a long time, or it can be more project based. Here's another idea. I'm a virtual assistant. I work with solo professionals. I specialize in productivity systems, email newsletters, and managing their calendar to increase productivity. That is something that I think is top of mind for most of the entrepreneurs that I help in finding a virtual assistant. I am a virtual assistant. I work with coaches and small businesses. I build websites, sales funnels, and compelling copy to increase sales. This would be considered a virtual assistant, in my opinion, who is a little more specialized. And the more specialized you are, the higher rate you can charge per hour. So we'll talk about that as we get into it a little bit more. But congratulations, you now have your super niche power. So if this is giving you some ideas, it's really just to get those wheels turning, and you are one step closer to building your own virtual assistant business. All right, so we're going to talk about the reasons why you might be here again, just briefly. You're excited about creating a virtual assistant business that allows you to have the flexibility of creating your own schedule. You don't want to have to choose between your family and your job. When I created this course, this was the primary reason why I created it, because I had so many women who were coming to me and saying, how can I have a flexible work from home job like you have? And at the time, and we'll get into this a little bit more in a minute, but I started as a blogger, and to start a blog today is very different from starting a blog 13 years ago, 14 years ago. It's totally different rules, and there's a lot of time that goes into play. So this is a very top of mind, simple solution to getting to money quicker and also using a skill set you probably already have. Reason number 2 is that you're motivated to find something that plays to your strengths, help you to lower your debt, and allows you to provide opportunities to your family. Maybe you're intrigued by the idea that you can create a business where you call the shots, choose the clients, the hours, and take on a pace that is comfortable with you and the time you have available. And what I love about this approach is that all of us go through different seasons of our life, depending on the ages of our kids, the demands of our family. And this is one where you can really push and pull back depending on the demands and the needs of your family. So in the comments below, please comment, which one are you? Would you say that you're more number 1, excited about flexibility, making home money from home? Number 2, to pay down debt, give your family opportunities? Or number 3, to call the shots, your business, your schedule, your clients? You can choose more than one if you want, because I know those all sound really good, but is there 1 or 2 that stick out to you primarily more than the other? I would love to see in the comments what your thoughts are. Okay, number 3, calling the shots, your business, your schedule, your clients. I like it, Chelsea. Number 1, excited about flexibility and making money from home. Love it. What else? What else? I'd say all, but 1 and 2 maybe the most at this second. But I would say 3 is ultimately the thing. Yes. I love that. Yeah. To say ultimately that is the thing, but paying down the debt. I remember when I was starting my blog and I wanted so much to fill my time with something that challenged my mind a little bit more, but also gave my family flexibility and also a little more to paying down our debt. And rather than like shopping in the retail or like secondhand stores to use up my time, I thought maybe during nap time I could like build something. And that's what got my engine going. But it was really motivated by travel. I'm not going to lie, because that is very exciting to me. So no matter what your response was, I hope that this inspires you to know that it is possible. If you're ready to be productive, earn money, and have something that blesses your life and family's opportunities, let's dive into it. Because whatever your motivation is, I am here to help you and to help you succeed. And I really, truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is my why. This is my family. I'm a mother of 4. I've been building online business for 14 years, and I am so grateful. I could cry about it. I don't know why. I'm a little emotional, but being able to be at home and support the growth of my family, not only physically and emotionally, but even financially too, has been such a fantastic blessing. And I am so excited to share a little bit more about my story with you. So why me? So I worked for myself as a blogger, podcaster, influencer, consultant, author, and entrepreneur for the last 14 years and helped build a 6-figure income while pregnant, nursing, and raising 4 littles at home. I've employed virtual assistants for the past 10 years and have trained dozens of women to build their own businesses and help them land amazing positions. When this was just an idea, I thought, could this even work? And now that I've seen and been able to hear so many individual stories of this working and blessing other people's lives, it has been one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in the 14 years that I've been doing online business. So as you're thinking about this, know that balancing family and business is a passion. I am a mother first and always. I decide when I can push and pull back, and I know what it takes to build a business and what business owners are hungry for. I am literally on both sides of the coin. I feel like I represent that person who wants to work from home and have flexible life. And I also am an entrepreneur who has trained and also hired many virtual assistants over the years. So I want you to imagine what life would feel like if you could call something to call your own and projects that light you up. I mean, isn't that exciting? That's what we all want. So my goal for this webinar is to give you the vision of what could be possible for you. And I know the tools and I feel called to share them. And I'm so glad you're here. So one of the things that I love most about this is it's really about creating what you want and developing the skills that you need to grow this business. And creating a virtual assistant business is possible. And it's more possible than ever, even if you have no previous business experience. So when I wrote this course, I really talk a lot about business foundations, about creating an entity, creating a bank account. How do you charge your clients? So it's not just about the skill sets, but like the actual backbone. So we're going to go through a little journey here. There are 7 steps. We're going to talk about how to create an online business that you love on your terms, your mindset, identifying your marketable skills, free resources available to build your brand, and how to find clients that need what you have to offer right now. How you can work with me, which I've already talked about here and there, and then the live Q&A. So the secret number 1 to create a profitable business is first find what brings you joy and purpose to give you driven end results. If you want to become a virtual assistant, you don't need to be an expert, but you simply need to find the sweet spot of where your talents meets others' needs to simplify their business. Everyone right now that I talk to weekly, you guys, because I have a podcast where I'm literally talking to people weekly, is they want to simplify their business. They're feeling overwhelmed. They're wearing all the hats. And if you can come into a business spot that you feel connected or drawn to and help simplify someone's life, that is the sweet spot of really finding success. If you've already worked doing something you love, chances are you can turn it into a service that you provide online. So the reason why I talked about think about what you did as a kid or as a teenager or in previous jobs is that you can either work in that field or bring in that skill set of pieces of that you loved. So let's talk about a couple different scenarios. Small business owners are buying your time. You can make money with skills that you have right now. So it could be with making a PDF, creating an invoice, scheduling appointments, email management, online shopping, or even doing special gifts for holidays, ordering copies, research, adding new clients to an email list, paying bills, sending newsletters, client outreach. These are all things I've asked people to help me with. And it's funny because these may seem super simple, but when you're wearing a lot of different hats, being able to message my assistant and say, hey, can you add this person to the email list? And I'm paying her to do that. That is like a huge just lift off my shoulders because I might be in the middle of creating a presentation or launching a new podcast or doing something else for a coaching program. So I'm going to give you some examples of people that I have trained or people that have worked with me or that have been a part of my program. So this is Miriam Ebert. She's a grandmother that lives on a farm. And she fell in love with Pinterest while helping her daughter build her blog. This was years ago that she got started. She created strategies for growth and she figured out what really was working in that day. Listen, with any social media, it changes. So the fact that she loves Pinterest and was just in there and playing around, she took that love for understanding that platform and turned it into a massively successful business. This is Amber McGregor. She's a social media and content specialist, a graduate of 60 Days to VA. She is a mother of two in Canada, fell in love with social media. She loves cookies and loves to be creative and help entrepreneurs share their businesses online. I actually just reached out to her this last week and said, how are you doing? And she said, I am so happy. She said, I've been able to travel more with my husband and all because I can now work from wherever we are. This is Annalisa. This is one of my VAs that I've worked with. She's a website and Kajabi specialist, mother of six. She's built her own virtual assistant business, niched her services, and effectively raised her prices. She makes good money, you guys. Now she has word of mouth clients and she is so good and proficient at what she does. I love working with her. This is Sydney Christensen, one of my past virtual assistants and students of 60 Days to VA. She is a podcast specialist and does notes and graphics. And what's really fun about this is she actually started as a podcast specialist, but she has recently changed and developed her business now into doing wedding photography and video and birth photography and video and using the skills that she learned from my course. So she was a college student. I haven't updated that. She's since graduated, but she started as an intern and is now a mom and not wanting a huge commitment. She just had her second child and she has done amazingly well. And it's so fun to watch her grow because she started as an intern for me. So that's really cool. This is Rachel Gilbert. She is a 60 Days to VA graduate. She loves organizing and managing business. She goes from Texas to New York. Her family lives in two different states. And so she wanted to have something that she could do from both places, that it didn't matter where she was in the world. She could do it from wherever. She started part-time and then grew her own business from two states and filled up her availability in 2 weeks after finishing my course. Legit, like it was really cool. She loves the flexible lifestyle as a young mom. So it's your turn. I want you to jump into the comments and share with me just share with me one idea of something that you could do just from hearing and seeing these different examples. And what's really interesting to me is I originally wrote this course for young moms because that is who I related with or who I was talking to online for over a decade. But I now have men who are interested in this course, but almost 50-50 are retired women who have owned, run, or worked for different businesses and now want to do this and run it on their own terms. So it's really cool. Like I have college students, men, women, grandmothers, like it's just so fun. So I want you to think about one idea. All right, we have from Heather. working with authors to help them on social media. Ooh, I like that. And you know what's interesting about authors specifically is that they don't always love to be front of camera, or they feel overwhelmed by scheduling. I know this because I have interviewed and worked with authors, that it just feels overwhelming to them. So even just saying, hey, I work with authors and I do social media for them, immediately that is a specific person you serve and a way that you can help them. And that is freedom to them. I love that idea, Heather. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? And it doesn't have to be forever. Any decision is interchangeable. What's really cool about students that have taken my course and worked, I mean, I have people, I released this a little over 3 years ago. And what's really cool is seeing people who started at a certain place and maybe just started with admin or email or a very niche kind of entry level VA work, let's say. A lot of them have changed and evolved into stronger skill sets or a different niche than they started with. And I think that's really cool because you can do what you want. Like, that is the name of the game and what's really cool about it too. Okay, well, no one else is saying anything, so I'll go ahead. Oh, we got one more. Going deeper in my niche would help realtors post on Instagram and YouTube. Ooh, yay! I love that, Landon. Chelsea says, I love travel. Yes. So I'd love to do something in that realm, helping travel influencers post, plan itineraries, etc. That is a fantastic, fantastic idea, especially with travel. I have done travel influencing. One of the number one thing with travel influencing is that you have to reach out to restaurants, hotels, city commerce, travel groups, and emailing back and forth is one of the biggest parts of a travel influencer's job. So to help someone with those back and forth customer service type or even like pitching ideas is huge. Janica says, I feel like mine has evolved with the people who needed my help. Absolutely. And that's what's cool too, is that if you find someone who you simply enjoy working with, you can evolve and change with them and build your skill set with them. And a lot of times they'll even pay you as you're learning it. So that's cool too. Okay, so whether it's social media, tech savviness, or your ability to try something new, when building a VA business, it's not about the thing you do that matters the most. It's your willingness to believe in your abilities, feel the fear, and doing it anyway. And I promise you that is true. And I do this with every new venture I've ever done, which has been a lot in the last 14 years. The secret number 2 to success is the business begins with your belief in you. This is the mindset piece, and it's essential to success. Part of your business is skill building. Part of it is support and strategy, but the mindset piece is huge. So having a resource of people that are in your corner that you can lean on if you have questions or doubts is huge. Another piece is having a community who has been through or is trying to achieve the same dream you are. So that's a big part. It's the skill building, but it's also the support and the strategy. So with building skills, if you can research online, I feel like we are all online sleuths at this part. We have our past experience. We learn from industry leaders. There is YouTube as well. And trust me, even with having many coaches through my lifetime or courses, YouTube is an awesome resource. And you can also buy a course, which is something I help people with. Support and strategy, you can find Facebook groups online. There are a lot of VA support groups that you can find. There are masterminds as well. Having an accountability partner is huge. And again, YouTube is a good resource. But course community, in my experience, has been one of the most effective because it's people who have walked your walk and they know what you are trying to achieve. And it's just a great place to be. So I want you to think about the end result and the kind of business that you hope to build. And if you can have the attitude and you aren't afraid to learn along the way, you have all you need. You don't have to be have a big social following of your own to get started. Honestly, a lot of it comes from your confidence and word of mouth and opening your mouth. The most successful VAs have the equipment. So this is pretty basic. And what's really cool is this is a tax write-off too, of a laptop or a computer, your phone. I write off my cell phone bill too, and social apps, schedulers, organizational skills, interpersonal skills, and persistence. And that, as far as starting a business, is pretty low startup cost. So this is a little snapshot back to behind the scenes. Uh, the very far left picture, that was me when I first started my blog. I went to a conference called Build Your Blog Conference. It was in the year 2012, I believe. And we were there having no idea. Look at our chunky necklaces. We had no idea what we were doing. We had already started the blog, but at this point, it was starting to be something where we could come together and learn and help each other out. But there aren't as many community resources in person anymore, in my experience, as there used to be. It kind of shifted from being in-person events, which I love, to online courses. So having that community around you, I am still friends with people that I met. In fact, I went to an event just this week. It was a networking event, which is the one networking event that I know of that people still kind of go to. And I was able to see friends that I've built businesses with online for the last decade plus, which is so fun. And this is a picture of me pregnant. I probably weigh less in that picture than I do now. And I'm like very pregnant. And then that's a picture on the right when I started my podcast, which was about 3.5 years ago. So I have been through so many beginnings, and I want you to know that I know what it feels like to be scared and unsure. And if you're feeling that way, that is normal. And it is perfectly the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion. Okay, so secret number 3 is what you're working with, how to stand out in a crowd. So connecting authentically is a big piece of connecting with your why. I have a free resource on my website called Discover Your Why, which means when things get hard, which they will, because with anything starting new, it's about showing up consistently, and you have to tap back into your why. Why are you doing this? What is the motivation? We talked about number 1, 2, or 3 in those previous slides. And I think really getting down to what would keep you excited, but also motivated to keep going is essential for success. I've seen so many people who have started online businesses, podcasts, blogs, social media accounts. And if they're not connected with that why, it goes away pretty quickly. You want to have a purpose-driven service. And that's where I think a lot of people, I think Jenica could attest to this. She is a graduate of 60 Days to VA and on with us today, that if you have purpose of helping people and feeling connected to them, it's really fun to keep going because it becomes more about the people, even though it's tasks you're doing on your own time, if that makes sense. Listening to really hear, listening to your gut if you think it's a good fit / partnership. So when I actually help my graduates connect with entrepreneurs, I do not assign them. I actually connect them based on interest, based on pay, based on what their personalities are. So I will line up like 2 to 3 interviews for the person who's looking, and they decide, because this is really a partnership between 2 people about what the best connection would be. It's not just about them, it's about you too, if that makes sense. So I want you to think about what your ideal client would look like and help to create a path of how to get there. And do you want to work in a certain industry? So the first thing is to create a list of the type of service you would like to offer, and then think about what value you can bring to that ideal client right this minute. So Chelsea talked about, she loves travel, and immediately with her experience with travel, she would kill it. Even now I'm like, maybe I should have you do those outreach for me. Like if you have a specific skill set you're already interested in, I promise you, it makes it so much more fun. Speaking to your client's specific needs and helping them overcome overwhelm will help to set you apart. Honestly, when it comes down to it, people do business with people, and it's talking with people that you can tell really care about finding success together. Your success as a virtual assistant really relies on 3 basic things: your ability to communicate what you do simply, number 1, connecting on a personal level, number 2, and having a can-do attitude. And that's it. Like really, at the end of the day, if you can hone in on those 3, you will be successful. So I want you to imagine what your lifestyle would look like if you had this flexibility. How many hours would you be working? Who are you with? What would you be doing in your free time? For me, paddleboarding. That's what I love to do. And I love spending time with my kids. And I love being able to turn it on and turn it off, and that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So niching down to the client that you want to work with and the hours or commitment that you have to strike a balance for what works for you. And like I said before, this can evolve and change based on, is it summertime? What are the age of your kids? What is your interest level? And that's perfectly fine. Secret number 4 is discovering free resources to get a head start. Let's talk about that. Canva, amazing. I'm sure most of you are familiar. Google Docs. I use these more often than the fancy other things that are available to keeping track of tasks. Domain, if you're looking to buy a website for yourself, is a good one is Namecheap or GoDaddy. I love Calendly for scheduling, and it is a free resource up to a certain extent. And I think almost everything you would need starting out is free for Calendly. Project management like Trello, Asana, and ClickUp all have free versions. Messaging is free resources for that are Facebook, Slack, Lark, GroupMe, WhatsApp. I mean, communication is pretty available these days, which is awesome. Number 5 secret is where to find clients that need what you have to offer. This is a big thing that holds people back or makes people feel nervous, and it shouldn't be. And we'll talk about why. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be a successful virtual assistant. So we talked about this before. That's probably just a repeat. Starting with a Facebook page or an Instagram account is all you need. What is so cool about starting online business now is that we are so interconnected and you can easily niche down on the presence of people that you're looking for. But this will allow you to create a presence to start connecting with others who are looking for what you have to offer. So there are more than 80 million small businesses around the world just on Facebook. Okay. And that number has probably changed because I wrote this a few years ago. But you also have worldwide access to people in Canada, Australia, Africa, Europe. You can find the perfect niche with groups that already exist and connect your personal account with a business page. That's because the rules of Facebook, they don't want you advertising business on your personal Facebook account. That's a no-no. But creating a personal Facebook page is where you can link and people can find what you're offering. You can connect with all different kinds of industries: beauty, fashion, financial, technology, influencers, restaurants, music, real estate agents. It goes on and on and on. So you can actually take that niche of those people that you want to work with and go where they are. So using your banner to advertise for your services is something that I've seen small business owners do. So even if you're not using your personal profile as your business page, you can use your banner to link them to where they can find your services. You can have a nice headshot, including your business page link, and clicking link in bio with a call to action, like join my Facebook group or DM me for a free discovery call. And this can all be on your Facebook business page. Providing value in Facebook groups so that when people see your personal profile, it leads them to your business page so they can work hand in hand. I'll pause there for a second if you want to screenshot this. People are looking to collaborate with you, make it professional, and link to the resources of what you have available. Okay, so creating a Facebook page, we will run through this, but Facebook has an amazing basic tutorial if this feels at all overwhelming. But it helps you to build credibility, awareness, and it gives results. So using your banner to describe what you do, including a personal photo, not a logo in your profile, because people want to do business with people. And in the about section, make sure that you find a username that isn't taken. Say who you are and what you do, that power statement that we already talked about, and adding email, a call to action, and a description. Here's a bonus secret. The skill of treating your virtual assistant business like a boss. You can create a space wherever you provide value. So that's something that wherever you go, if you are bringing value with you, that confidence that you have is that bonus secret. So you can have email newsletters, socializing, staying in contact, and planting a seed, even people with your friends and family, and making an announcement on Facebook that says, hey, I am starting my own virtual assistant business. This is what I'm doing, and this is who I help. You would be amazed at how many people will come from the woodwork and say, oh, I actually know someone who owns a dentistry and they're looking for that exact thing. Or, oh, I just saw this or that. Or, hey, I need someone. So if you want more connections, you can look at LinkedIn, friends and family, indeed.com, fiverr.com. That's not my favorite. I like to shop there sometimes, but they seem like very low cost one-off things. So that's not my favorite. Local ads, local businesses, but we're only scratching the surface. So what would you stop doing if you had a profitable VA business? And you might be thinking like, what do you mean? What would I stop doing? Like, would you stop cleaning your toilets? Would you hire a cleaning lady? That was one of the first things I was like, if I could just get help once a month deep cleaning, or if I could, I don't know, have a little, like, be able to afford grocery delivery. That was like a big thing. I want you to just think in the back of your mind, like, oh, what is something, maybe it's not worrying. Maybe you could stop worrying about week to week affording groceries, whatever the thing that you would like to stop doing. I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about what's possible. So number one, you could try to learn all of these skills on your own without a plan, but you will run into the risk of getting stuck in a rut without direction or motivation. Another option is you can 100% commit to starting your own virtual assistant business using a guided step-by-step formula for success. So this is my formal invitation to join 60 Days to VA. You've heard me talk about it, and it's really designed around creating your own business in only 7 weeks. And a lot of times shorter, people who have taken my course. But 60 Days to VA is designed to show you exactly how to create the kind of business that works for your busy lifestyle. It takes the confusion out of the process so that you can create an income on your terms and focus on what matters most. I'm going to go through briefly what I go over in the course. Very briefly. There's a framework and project plan, and this is where we talk about discovering your why, building your brand, identifying your unicorn. That's the person who you want to work with, and goal setting. Then we get into niches to riches, the 3 keys to finding the people who really would gel well with you in the niches, and also building a business 101. That's where we talk about claiming your name, getting your tax identification number, setting up your banking, things like that. The power of wow and optimizing your Facebook. That's what we just talked about a little bit. Module 3 is about technical prowess. That's creating systems and process for you in building your business, as well as power tools and reporting with the people that you are working with and creating a like, know, and trust factor. This module, number 4, is about creating community. So standing out and growing and engaging communities online, how to grow social platforms. We go over them all: Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, how to understand schedulers and calendars. Module 5 is the Design Diva. That's where you learn more about Canva, websites, modifying your website, and SEO. And in all of these modules, I actually have templates and swipe files. So it makes it so easy to do these things, to create the website, to create the social media. Number 6 is your financial foundation module. This is very important to me, where we talk about how to price your packages, how to get the advantages of taxes, client discovery, and how to let go of a client that it's not working out with. The taxes section, I am not a tax expert, but there actually is a place where we get more into that with my husband, who is a CPA and knows all the business jargon and best things to do with taxes. So I do bring in an expert for that. Number 7 is the last module. It is Marketing 101, getting social, email marketing, and getting started. So here's what you will put into action. We will nail down your business name, and you will start your business with experience and confidence. You'll have swipe files to take the guesswork out of client acquisition, tracking, and services. You will learn skills in community building, web design, social media, SEO, management, confidence, and reporting, and create a financial foundation for business, tax, and financial statements, acquiring clients and craft compelling offers, and leverage email marketing and social media to attract your ideal clients, and professionally build a presence online. So that's a total value of $1,997, and that has all of those modules in it. But you will get the course 60 Days to VA, the 7 modules, the videos, audios, PDF guides, swipe files, and templates. And I also include 8 weeks of pre-recorded live Q&As with students, where I actually add more trainings that have updates, questions, support, things like that. And that's an $897 value. Bonus number 2 is getting a rundown from a licensed CPA on how and when to create your LLC, learning the basics of taxes, knowing what to write off, how to keep track of your income as efficiently as possible. Now, I'm not anyone extra special. I went into creating a business online, not having a clue what I was doing over 10 years ago. And now I know what online business owners are looking for and how to grow a successful online business. It's not guesswork here. If you do the work the first 2 weeks and you are not satisfied and you've gone through the first few modules, you can have a 14-day money back guarantee. Bonus number 3 is pre-made website templates and newsletter swipe files to get you started with building a client referral base that is warm and will grow your business long-term, which is a total value of $4,588. So today, the cost is only $997, but here's what's exciting is that you will have access to my CEOs lining up at the door ready and waiting for an awesome VA that has graduated from a course. They trust me. I have relationships with these people who know that I have walked the walk and I'm training people to do the same thing, which is really cool. And that's invaluable. So today, to get started, it's 3 payments of $377 or 1 payment of $997. But for those of you who are attending today, get $100 off. So it's actually $897, which is really cool. I think I tell you that on a slide coming up. But it's a special bonus when you pay in full is you'll get a productivity and client Trello boards, Facebook group starter kit, client flow template for productivity. So that's a bonus too. And then of course you have your fast action bonus of the 30 social media tried and true templates. So here's what you will overcome: the fear of creating your own online business, fear of no one buying your services, fear of tech overwhelm, fear of putting yourself out there, fear of social media, fear of not knowing what to do and how to do it. And like I said, this code is available for you watching live or for those watching the replay. The code for the 100 off is available until the 25th. So today is the 22nd. That gives you 3 days. For the 1 payment of $897 or 3 payments of $377. And I want to give you more than 2 hours to do this because I know it's, you need to talk to your partner or your person or to think about it. And it's a no pressure from me. It's really, I know that this opportunity works and it really is awesome. So to enroll in that, you can go to www.camillewalker.co/enroll, and that will give you these payment options. And this is just a quick review of what that's going to look like. You'll have 2 options that will pop up on the screen where you can click that, but make sure that when you go to pay that you put in the code, and you can pay with a credit card or a PayPal. And then you'll get a confirmation page that looks like this when you go through. Make sure that you check your email that will come with your login and you have everything you need to get started. If you're ready to go, you could literally do this today, starting today, if you are ready to go. So go to camillewalker.co/enroll. And I hope that the reasons of why you showed up here, even though you're super busy, is that you want to go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling like you can do it and that you can make the kind of money that you want and still have the flexibility of having the flexibility and choosing how little or how much you want to work being your own business owner. So I want you to think about that priority, that why that you went and thought about in the very beginning. And if you're having doubts, I want you to know that that's normal. And some of the doubts you might be thinking is, I don't know if I have what it takes to be a virtual assistant, but I've got you. I have trained, again, dozens of women who have gone through the program and have built successful businesses with this training. And some others might say, I'm pretty new to tech and social media. Is this going to be too advanced for me? No, this course is built with a beginner's approach, very step-by-step systems. If you're feeling confused, you can watch it over and over again as many times as you need to. Another concern might be that you don't have the time or energy to build a business from nothing, finding clients, selling yourself, and creating a brand for yourself. But this is self-paced, where some people will take months to go through it. Some will take weeks. and it's really up to you. But what's really cool is that if you become a part of this community, you are in a private Facebook group with people who have done this and are so willing to help and answer questions. Last question is, what if I'm not ready to build my business so fast? You don't have to. You can take it one step at a time. And for best results, I suggest that you come along for the ride that I set the pace. It's one module per week. But if you feel like you need to slow it down or go faster, you can do that too. So if you're ready to get started, you can go to camillewalker.co/enroll. And here are some testimonials before we go to our Q&A. So this is from Shay. At the top, she says, Camille shares an abundance of knowledge, whether you have experience or you're starting from zero. She will teach you new things and take you through all of the essentials to help you build a thriving business from the ground up. Camille's knowledge mixed with her connections is unmatched. She not only trains you, but teaches you all you need to know. But then she also connects you with your perfect clients. This blew my mind. I've never heard of anything like this. The best investment, Shaylin. And the one below that from Vanessa, sorry, I have a Shelley Holbrook. That was an old quote that used to be there. Camille's 60 Days to VA is one of the best investments I've made for myself, both in my time and financially. As a stay-at-home mom of 8+ years, I've searched many times for the perfect job. For me, that meant something where I could bring in some extra income and still be at home with my kids. This program checks all those boxes and more. The course material is straightforward and simple, yet full of incredibly useful details that I never would have thought of on my own. What I felt really set this program apart was the network of people and Camille's knowledge and ability to connect everyone, from the entrepreneurs to the graduates trained to be just what they needed. I'm so grateful for this program and the connections I've already made, which is so cool. It's so cool. All right. So that is the end of the formal presentation. And I would love to open up the floor for any questions. So whether you want to pop on video, you're welcome to do that, or put a question in the chat. I'm happy to do that right now. If you've written down any questions. Hi,
Hey,
Janica.
Camille, can I just echo all that was just said? I'm just sitting
Yes.
here and having all the feels come back. And I remember being so nervous to get started. And like, even though it's like under $1,000, like I was like, I don't know if I can do that. But I honestly earned that back within like, I don't know, really, really quickly after, and with such a low overhead. It's just amazing. My husband's like just dumbfounded, like how amazing it is that like I earned that back so quickly. And now that all my kids are in school, I can focus on it a little bit more. And so I'm really excited to jump on here and just get that refresher. I still have like clients, but now I'm excited to, take on some more now that I have more time. But
Oh,
I just
that's
love
awesome.
Camille. So I just wanted to hop on and
Oh,
say, she's awesome.
oh, that means so much to me. Thank you so much. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate it. And it's cool too, because Janica took this course. Was it 2 years ago? Has it
Yeah,
been
I
two
was thinking it
years?
was like almost 2.5 years ago.
Oh my gosh. And what's cool is at first it was like starting out with the kids at home, and now all your
Yep.
kids are in school. And so many times I've had neighbors, friends, women who have, the kids have gone off to school, and there's this period of just feeling lost, of like,
Mm-hmm.
what am I going to do? And where am I going to work? Should I go work at Target? Or like, it's nice to have the
Yeah.
extra time, but then it kind of gets into that in between of like, but I want to do something. And so I love that you started it earlier so that now you're like, oh, I'm already in the groove. Now I can just add more. And that's what I love
Yeah.
about this is it's like you can push or pull back according to what you need. So
Yeah. And that was the
yay.
thing. Like I was thinking about going and doing something like I'm like, I could go do anything. But then I'm like, well, I have this already under my belt, and I can get paid a little bit more than going out and just doing something. So
Yes,
that's really awesome. And I've had good experience with clients she sent my way and word of the mouth. So both are awesome.
that's so cool. Thank you for saying that. I really
You're
appreciate that.
welcome.
That means so much to me. Okay, any other comments, questions, ideas, anything you're thinking about or wanting to share?
No questions. I just want to thank you, Camille. This is very helpful. I think one of I would love to be a VA, but I think my fears definitely come into play. I'm
Mhm.
not the best at social media. I'm great at viewing it, but in terms of, starting my own platform on social media, I think that scares me the most.
Mhm.
But it seems like, with your class, you kind of coach us into all of the things that social media can provide and really how to utilize them. So you've kind of quelmed some of my fears.
Oh, good. Yeah. And that's totally normal. I think it's really interesting because when I started blogging so many years ago, it was all behind the screen. None of us were really up in front. And I had a partner who was incredible, a better content creator than I was. But when it turned into like looking at the camera and being like, hi, my name is whatever, this is what I do, and having to be like front of face, she hated that. And so it's interesting as a VA. I would say most of the time, you are not the person in front of the camera. The people that you are helping the most are the people in front of the camera who don't have time for the behind the camera stuff. And what I mean by that is, the administrative, the email, the task management, all those other things. So to build your own clientele, I would lean into your strengths of where you do connect well with people. So for you, it could be that you go to in-person events or you use word of mouth from your relationships and your family, friends, or previous work experience, or maybe people through the travel world of people that like to travel or someone you've followed. And you could even email people that you have a virtual relationship with and say, hey, I am now a virtual assistant and I specialize in travel experiences for travel bloggers or influencers. And these are the services I offer, and I would love to work with you. If I had a message that was specific like that and solved a problem and was direct like that, I would want to see some kind of maybe a one pager of like a Facebook page or a LinkedIn or something that shows that you're a real person. But then I would want to see you on like a Zoom call. And if you had the skill set and the understanding of the industry that I need help with, and there's proof of that, like that would be killer. Like I think that directness does not require for you to be on social media every day talking about the 5 steps of whatever. Do you see what I mean? Like
Yes.
there are
Yeah,
creative ways
absolutely.
to be that person without having to be the front of camera.
Okay.
Like now I'm a social media creator person. You do not have to be that person.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. I
Yeah, you're
appreciate that.
welcome. Yeah. Janica says, yes, trust that you will learn and grow. Like she said, having a can-do attitude goes a long way. Yeah. And what's really cool too is that if you find someone that you have a great relationship with, a lot of times their needs will evolve through, their online business, because I've had people that have been on standby with me for a decade, where I have one, I would call any virtual assistant is an independent contractor. So I have someone who hosts my websites and is kind of like my web tech person. So he's not what I would call a virtual assistant for me per se, but those are the skill sets that, like, if my website crashes or something goes down, I email him and I'm like, save me. Like that is not my skill set. But for him, it is. And so he can just have his clients that he has like what's the right term? A retainer that he's kind of available to us, that I pay like a flat monthly fee. And there are months that go by that he's just covering my hosting, but he doesn't have to help me with like a fire, so to speak, but he is getting paid and he has really regular, low maintenance clients like me that he doesn't hear from a whole lot, but he's making a good amount of money on top of other things that he's doing. So I would lean into those skill sets of what is something that or an industry that I could tap into, or of someone that I want to work with, or skill set that I have, and lean into it. And what's cool is that if you make those relationships, you can actually grow with that person and just have this community of awesome people that help each other. So awesome. Any other questions, concerns? Everyone, thank you that's been on today. You have been so gracious. And Janica, so sweet of you to pop in and say such a nice thing. That like makes it all worth it. And I really mean it. So if this is something that you feel called to do, or if there's a stirring, I have never raised the price of this course. And cost of everything else has gone up so much in the last 3-4 years from when I wrote this. And I've never raised the cost because I want it to be affordable. And there are the payment options. And if you are in a job right now and even want to do something on the side like this and build it up slowly, I've had people that have done that as well. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing, or it doesn't have to be something where fear holds you back from exploring what could be available through this new remote working life where you're not even working for a business dictating the hours that you have to put in, but you can decide what that looks like and what you want to do with it. So it looks like we're done for questions, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. This recording will be saved. If you know of someone that you think would benefit from this or might be interested in this, please DM me and I can send this information to them on email or through a DM with this recording. And that discount, remember, it is good through Sunday. So you have 3 days to think about it. But don't wait, because right now is the best time to get started. And a year from now, you'll think, "Oh, what would have happened if I would have just started today, a year before?" So just take that leap and create that life that you've been wanting to. And thank you all so much for being here. Yes, the code for the discount. I'm glad you asked again. I'll go back to the screen where I share that just so you can screenshot it or see. Hold on 1 second, because I'm like, I want to make sure I get it right. I should write it in the thing. Hold on. I want to say, for some reason I can't see the, it's right in front of me. Okay. So let's just pop back really quick to that discount code. Okay, it's right here. Okay. So the code that you need to use, and let me make sure, is fall 2024. I am so sorry I didn't mention that before. It's right here. Fall 2024 is the code. Thank you so much for asking, because I almost breezed over that. Fall 2024 is the code. It is good until Sunday. All right. Thank you for asking. I would have not even said it out loud, but it's right there. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you later.